So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. I got a pretty good one. We got a pretty good one, man. We got a pretty good one. We got another sister, man, right? Another sister, man, who's built the way she's built, right? Coming up here, man, talking the way she's talking, right? It's obviously still just, once again, entitled, right? Entitled. She says that 50K a year, people who make 50K a year, right? She said that men who makes 50K a year should not be prioritizing dating. Why is that? I don't know. Let's go ahead and see why she is saying some of the ish that she is saying.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe. And now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have the expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
I'm
You
just
talk about
saying.
me.
We can all easily sit here and say she essentially described herself a bottom of the barrel, right? Any man can look at that and say, yeah, she's probably already bottom of the barrel, just by what she's saying and off just the strength of how she's built. Once again, a lot of imps, right? A lot of men have allowed women like that to feel that entitled to say the shit that they're saying. Now, once again, she doesn't understand finance. Now, I get it, right? In this time, in this day and age, right? In this climate that we're living in, 50K a year by yourself is not going to cut it, right? I'm gonna just be honest with you, it's just not going to cut it, right? You're gonna need a little bit more than that. You might need it just a little bit more than that. But once again, if you know your finance, you can make it work. If you know your finances and you know how to save, you can make it work. But see, here's the thing that you can, once again, here's how you can offset everything that she just sat here and said. Here's how you can offset that, right? Because once again, she's saying that if you are a man, right? Now, she ain't say a woman, right? Because once again, women can sit up here and be jobless, right? And still get whatever they want, right? But she's saying if you make 50K a year as a man, you cannot date. But see, here's the thing, right? Here's how you can offset that. We do understand this is where women's role come into play. If you're making 50K a year, what's the issue? If you're making 40K a year, what's the issue? That's both. You're both bringing in 90K a year. You're both bringing in 90K a year. Now, granted, if we're in our 20s, right? If we're in our 30s, who's to say that we're going to continue to stay at 90K a year? Who's to say that we're going to continue to stay at 50K a year? You're obviously going to find new jobs. You're going to find better jobs that pay more, right? You're going to find better jobs that pay more. And both of y'all are, at some people understand, like, it just seems like women like this feels like the bottom just doesn't exist. Like men just automatically just, as soon as we come out the pee-pee hole, we automatically rich. Some men are going to have to establish themselves. Right. So, of course, if I'm a man who's making 50K a year, right, I might be just barely getting by. I get a girl, right? She's barely just getting by. Why not us both come together and boom? But hey, because I'm broke, I'm gonna pass up on a good thing and just continue to stay struggling. But see, once again, women like this are not going to think long term. Women like this only think temporarily. And it's sad because, once again, this is how a lot of your women are thinking today. They think that, hey, well, you know what? If he ain't making this certain amount for me, then it's just not going to work. Well, what about you, sis? What about you? Maybe if you make some good money too, we can both come together, right? But once again, when you prioritize money so much that you're not even willing to prioritize character, that you're not even willing to prioritize the guy, that it's just go right over your head that, hey, okay, well, off bat, he's only making 40K or 50K a year. What about his goals? What about what he's already working towards? I get if you're talking about you're in the 50s and the 60s, but you do know your average man makes $50K a year. But like I said, if you're in the 40s and your 50s and your 60s, then okay, yeah, hey, maybe you should be making a little bit more money, maybe not. I mean, $50K a year. Once again, that's what the average man is making, right? But once again, you don't reach a financial stride until you're about in your late 30s. So once again, man, imagine yourself being in your 20s. You know, if you find a partner, you need a partner in this climate, guys. You need a partner in this climate. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So you guys, man, some of my homeboys want to keep running around here, keep trying to hype it out woman after woman after woman and not try to take any of them serious. I'm just like, man, look, you can keep doing that, bro, but it's going to get to a point where you're going to need to. Now, I can't fully tell some of these guys this because once again, there are some guys that just have it set in their mind that, hey, this is what they want to do, and they see life works for them that way. That's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that as a man and as a woman, just a human being in society right now, here in America, it's going to be hard to live by yourself. It's going to be hard to live by yourself, so you're going to need to. So instead of sitting over here having women like this, eating Twinkies.
Damn, some big groupies. She the whole group, nigga.
Sitting over here, man, saying, hey, well, you know, y'all men don't need to be making 50. Y'all men don't need to be making 50K a year. Y'all need to be making more than that. Like, what? So, and once again, this is what I'm saying, right? And this is what I'm saying. When you have people who don't know finances, right? When you have people who sit up here, man, and just are so entitled, they just come up here and just make rhetoric and don't even think long term. This is a short-minded person, meaning that once again, they're only living in a moment. They rather only think about what's going to benefit them in the now instead of what's going to benefit them long term. Well, you know what? Hey, maybe I can deal with this guy. Well, what you got going on, right? This is where taking them out and going to the dinner. This is where going out lunch and get to knowing the person. This is where that comes into play. This is why people are saying you need to take college seriously when you're trying to vet someone. Well, at least for me, you should want to take college seriously when you're trying to vet someone. Why? Right? Why? Because number one, you're still young. Right? Number one, you're still young. Number two, you still have a pool of options, right? Man and woman, you have a pool of options, right? In college, you take that shit serious, struggle together, right? You struggle together. You're both building each other up. You're struggling together. You're both working towards something. At the age 25, 26, have kids, whatever, have a house. Right. But no, some people just want to sit over here. You got a lot of your black women who want to sit up here, man, and be single mothers by the time they hit 18, by the time they hit 25 or whatnot. You got guys out here, man, who are prioritizing ass and assets rather than character and characteristics. Right. So once again, man, this type of mindset is going to hold a lot of people back. Right. It's mainly a lot of your women, because once again, y'all women thinking that, hey, well, you know, they can do, well, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, you know, I'm sitting over here, man, selling, you know, soaps. I'm sitting over here, man, you know, barely getting by. But, you know, hey, once again, I'm going to still call myself an entrepreneur. Stop it. Right? Stop it. You cannot live in this climate by yourself. So y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. And people, please, man, do not be short-minded, man. Do not just think temporarily, think long-term.